Have you noticed how some spaces or even things in your home instantly lift your mood while others might feel heavy? Welcome to GA Atelier, a place where intentional design meets mindful living. I'm Gigi Askar and I'm here with you on this journey to explore how intentional design can shape the way we live and feel and how to transform our living spaces into sanctuaries that reflect our unique story, personality, style, and lifestyle, and elevate our everyday experiences. Step into my atelier and let's intentionally design together. You've probably heard of triggers and glimmers before. Things that annoy you or trigger you, and things that bring you some joy. And I thought we can apply that same concept at home to the rooms or parts of the rooms and objects like decor or furniture that evoke a specific feeling or spark a reaction, positive or negative. These are just subtle signals that your home is giving you every day. You might not even notice them, but they're constantly in communication with you. They're telling you something because they're affecting you in some way. So when you start to notice them, you'll see your home in an entirely new way because you'll see how it's communicating with you in a way. So let's start with the triggers. A trigger is something that, in your home that unsettles you, or even if it's in a subtle way, it's the overstuffed closet maybe that you avoid opening because it feels overwhelming. It's the chair that constantly collects clutter instead of inviting someone to sit in because you don't like how it feels. It's the lighting that's always feeling too harsh or too dim, too bright, so you never quite enjoy spending the time in that room. Triggers are not always a huge problem on their own. It might be a very small thing, a corner of a room, but over time, they can chip away at your sense of ease and how you feel in that space. They create small moments of tension that can add up. And because they're often subtle, we overlook them. We normalize them. We tell ourselves it's not a big deal. It's not a huge problem. But in reality, they're draining your energy and affecting how we feel in our homes every day. Now let's talk about glimmers. It's, of course, the opposite of triggers. And again, they're small, uplifting moments or things in your home that makes you pause and smile. You want to enjoy them. It could be a vase of fresh flowers on your dining table. It could be a chair that gets the perfect stream of afternoon light. Could be a corner in your bedroom that simply feels cozy, where you naturally want to spend time there because you like it, you feel good there. So glimmers are just little reminders of what makes us feel joy, what makes us feel happy. They remind us of what we love. And they are quietly supporting you in the background. And again, often they're easier to overlook than the triggers because when something irritates us, it's more likely to leave a lasting and a longer impression on us than the stuff that give us joy. But when you start to notice them, both, the triggers and the glimmers, you realize how important they are. So how do you start noticing them? Here's one way. Next time you walk through your home, and you've probably heard me say this a lot, and it's probably something you might not even think of doing intentionally. I know it might sound weird, walk through your home or walk your home, because we just tend to go through the house for a purpose or a reason, not just to kind of notice it, but walk through your home and pay attention to how you feel. Where does your body relax? In which room, for example? Where does it tense up? Which space do you avoid and which space attracts you? Avoidance usually points to a trigger and attraction is usually a glimmer. So, of course, these are personal. What might annoy you might not annoy me at all and vice versa, but just notice and pay attention to these little signals. And then what do we do once we start noticing these triggers and glimmers? I think this is another great place where intentional design comes in. It's not just about spotting what's wrong or what's right. Instead of ignoring the triggers or overlooking the glimmers, you can start making choices to reduce those triggers and choices to amplify the glimmers. So if your closet is triggering you, or any closet, you can declutter it and maybe get a better storage system. If you have a chair you love, maybe move it to a place where you will enjoy using it more. One thing I started doing a long time ago in my home is paying attention to the small things that annoyed me, that bothered me. And if it bothers me on a daily basis, because I'm using it or I have to use it on a daily basis, even if it's a little bit, I try to change it or fix it, especially if the change or fixing it is easy and simple, and not let it build up. So again, it's easier to maybe do that with the triggers because this is something that stays and annoys you. But I don't want you to ignore the glimmers either. I just amplify them and see how you can add more of that. Just pay attention in general to those tiny signals and respond to them. Triggers are clues to what needs to change, and glimmers are clues to what's already working beautifully. I hope this episode inspired you to start noticing these subtle signals in your home and to intentionally reduce the triggers and amplify the glimmers. DM me and let me know what you feel is a trigger or a glimmer in your home. I would love to know. You can find the link for my Instagram in the show notes. Thank you for joining my atelier. If you love this episode, please follow the podcast and leave a review. It helps other people discover the show. And I'll see you in the next episode.